Today on EA Sports. It's week 13 of the NFL on EA Sports.
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. Today, we've got a Week 13 matchup for you here between the Miami Dolphins and the New England Patriots. The calendar has turned to December, and we're in the home stretch now as we're underway in Week 13. And we will not get a run back here to start. It's a touchback, and it will come out to the 25. So here come the Patriots getting ready on offense. They're led by their quarterback from the University of Alabama, Mac Jones.
You talk about the pause that refreshes. I think it's come at a perfect time of the year for them, hasn't it? You know, the season is starting to wind down, got a little bit of a break. But how about the guy calling the signals? He's got to be excited about that because now he didn't just get a game plan for 1 week. He was able to work on it for 2 weeks. I can't wait to see if they have anything special in store for him today.
They'll run with a former member of the Crimson Tide, Damian Harris. It'll go as a loss of a yard on the game's first play. Second down.
Part of their struggles last week was getting these negative plays on first and second down. That's something they have to be wary of as this game continues.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. They hand this off to Harris, and he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. And, Charles, this defense, I have to imagine, kind of licking its chops when you get a chance to face a team that's lost 3 straight.
And my surprise was listening to their head coach in his weekly presser because normally you and I see guys that get up there and say, everybody's a threat any given Sunday, that sort of thing. But he was asked if this might be a trap game, and he essentially said he didn't see anything to worry about. Now, normally you say that to your team, but you don't tell us. You definitely don't say it to the media. Not only did he have a chance to scan the field there, it felt like he had a chance to scan it twice. The protection was that good. Unfortunately for him, the coverage downfield, equally good.
Now on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. Fielded just inside the 30. It'll be a net of only 30 here. 40-yard punt, 10 on the return. And it'll be Dolphin football. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. They will be led out by the 6-foot lefty from Alabama. It's Tua Tagovailoa.
And if you go by the numbers, he's had a Pro Bowl-type season. And maybe that's even selling him a little bit short. He's the NFL leader in touchdown passes to this point in the year. And with the end of the season not too far away, he's got his guys playing at a very high level.
Oh, he's going to take a shot right away. A fight for it, and this is caught. It's caught indeed. It's a big play there for Miami. Typically with catches like that, we talk about the height of the wide receiver, but he's one of the shorter receivers in the NFL.
And it doesn't seem to matter, does it? Put the tape measure away. How about some of these guys under 6 feet tall? Antonio Brown, T.Y. Hilton, and Super Bowl 53 MVP, Julian Edelman.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. He'll get 2 out of that run, and it's going to bring up a 2nd and goal.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so.
Touchdown! A great effort there. His 17th touchdown now on the season. And the Dolphins are going to take a first-quarter lead.
If you did know it, it won't surprise you to find out that this team leads the league in scoring. They've been a quick strike team all season long. There's another example. They did it again. This offensive coordinator, right now you can write his ticket towards being a head coach. He's advanced in the ways of offense.
Extra point up and good by Sanders, and that makes the score 7-0. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive, and it winds up in 6 points for the Dolphins. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. Donovan Peoples-Jones now from the end zone. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. So back onto the field come the Pats for their second drive. And they, of course, coming into this one in the midst of a tough losing streak. They did get helped out by the open week last week. And in talking with him, all indications were, Charles, that was a very helpful break.
Yeah, I know a lot of teams, coaches, they hate taking time off in the midst of a losing streak because they think they have to stay on their toes and punch their way out of it. But occasionally, you get that open week, you step back, evaluate what's been going wrong, see what you can put in that can move you forward, and maybe you get a chance to breathe a little bit and kind of start over. Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
Again, it's Harris on second down. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain.
That was a good run, probably right on the edge of breaking into something really big. So the defensive guys right now are talking about, okay, what can we do to slow him down before he truly gets started?
And he's going to have the first down at about the 38.
That's a nice run right there, able to get to the outside. And so many times defenses say, okay, we've got you hemmed in. But if you're running the football, at least you know where everyone is coming from. You don't have to worry about the backside at all. That allows you to run with a little bit more confidence as you traverse down the field.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50.
Good job there getting his tight end involved because he lines up on the right side of the formation, just works his way across the field. I really like how they were in sync on that one. He spotted the open gap in the zone, and his quarterback found him, and they get a first down.
Now a first down carry for Harris. And not a lot of daylight. Not really any daylight inside as he's going to be stopped right at the line of scrimmage. Brings up second down. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. Now Jones. Complete. It's Henry. And a 6-yard gain gets him right around the 43. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
Throwing Jones. It's caught by Mike Evans. And he's got another first down as he's brought down at the Dolphins 16.
And this has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
Counting down toward the midway point in quarter one. On first down, Harris. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
second down and 4. Back to throw. Jones. And he's going to be taken down, sacked back around the 18-yard line. Isaiah Simmons coming in hard there on the blitz, and he gets him 7 yards behind the line of scrimmage. He is proving his worth defensively, getting the sack here. That comes after being named the AFC Defensive Player of the Week for his performance in last week's game.
He's stacking games together, isn't he? I mean, you just mentioned what he did the previous week to be named AFC Defensive Player of the Week, continuing to play at that level. And when you get that kind of confidence going, those kind of guys are hard to stop.
And the Patriots are going to have first and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points. Now the Dolphins are going to halt the action here. It's a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. So another third down conversion, and now they've got a first and goal. Looking to throw. Jones to the end zone, but it's incomplete.
I'm going to need some help with this one. How did he miss it? Wide open in the end zone. He's not hurried. He's not hit. And somehow, incomplete?
Yeah.
What happened?
During film study, that's what. Touchdown, Patriots. Hunter Henry. His second touchdown on the season. And the Patriots are within an extra point of tying this one up. Extra point right down the middle. And that will tie our score here in this opening quarter of play. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. Taken in at the 3. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. So Miami coming out for their second drive. After the long touchdown drive we just saw, you wonder if maybe that's taken a little of the wind out of this offensive sails because they had it going pretty good last time too.
Had to sit over there for a little while, didn't they? You know, they were eager, amped up to get back on the field after just scoring, hoping to get the ball back quickly. That didn't happen, so I'd say come out, just kind of get started again. You know, doesn't have to be anything dramatic. Just get moving, get loose again, and see if they can get it downfield.
So a costly penalty yardage-wise as that'll move the football down to the spot of the foul.
And what the officials are looking for in these situations, whether you're playing the man or the ball. And if you're playing the man, you get a lot less leeway in terms of what's going to happen at the end of the play. But if you're looking for the football, it's less likely to draw the flag.
And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
On the handoff, it's Gaskin. He's going to get 4 out of this as he's down to the 10-yard line.
Well, they didn't get a whole lot out of that one, but I think you got to continue to try and run and try and keep the defense honest.
You mean or also just sit back, dare you to throw it on every down?
Yeah, you get your quarterback hit a lot that way, too.
And a short pickup there down to about the 9. Call it a gain of a yard, and it's going to bring up 3rd and 5.
Normally when you see a short gain in the middle of a 3-4 defense, go ahead and pat the nose tackle on the back because he's holding things up and taking on extra blockers, which allows one of the inside linebackers to roam free and make the tackle.
And he's going to be taken down here still a couple yards short of the first. Give him 3 yards there as that'll take us to 4th down. He's hit pay dirt a lot this year, but not that time.
Yeah, I'm tracking right there with you. You're exactly right. He's found the end zone plenty of times. No way I can find any fault with the call. He may not have scored there, but of course you're going to give it to him.
And he won't have the touchdown, but he will have the first down as he's tackled at the 2. The deuce is wild here. 2nd down and 2 with just about 2 minutes on the clock. And again, they'll go right back to their fullback. And he takes it into the end zone for the Dolphin touchdown. A great play there. His 25th touchdown. Tying Emmitt Smith for the 5th most in one season. And the Dolphins have taken the lead. Extra point up and good by Sanders. And that makes the score 14-7. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. Peoples-Jones going to elect not to run this out, and they'll begin at the 25. New England trying to get to place on offense. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that, they had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really looked clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
From the 27, Jones. And the Dolphins rush gets home. Down he goes. He couldn't get away. He'll wind up losing a dozen yards, a 12-yard loss, and it brings up third. Work now for Jones and the Patriots here after the sack. It's 3rd and long. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on 3rd down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to.
I'll tell you what, these last couple of drives, much better from a defensive perspective. They gave up a touchdown on the opening drive, and then after forcing a punt on their last possession, it looks like they're going to get the football back again.
That'll go as a 39-yard punt, give him 9 on the return. And the Dolphins will begin this drive in great field position, 1st and 10. Miami's offense set and ready to go. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
On 1st down, Tagovailoa. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. Touchdown, Dolphins. A big play there. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Dolphins are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. So simple math here in the first half. They've had 3 drives offensively, and they have scored every time, and they've got the lead.
Well, whenever we talk about adjustments, we usually talk about an offense making adjustments, right? This is all about the defense. They've got to figure out some way, somehow to slow them down. Do they blitz a little bit more? Do they play more zone coverage? Right now, they don't know where to go because they're hitting them in every direction.
Extra point up and good by Sanders, and it's now 21-7. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. Peoples-Jones going to elect not to run this out, and they'll begin at the 25. New England's offense set to go. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of 1st downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Jalen Phillips, the edge man on the tackle.
Well, sometimes you just have to give credit to the defense. Great job there at the point of attack, holding up. They won their battles at the line of scrimmage, left him no space to try and run. A really nice job swarming to the ball carrier.
And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line.
Back-to-back runs, I'd say that encompassed maximum effort for minimal gain.
Minimal yardage, and now they're going to need something more than minimal on this play coming up. And on 3rd and 8, defensively, they're going to beef up the secondary. 6 defensive backs. Back to throw. Jones. Throw left side, going to be taken in by Harris. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. That's going to bring up 4th down, only a gain of 2 there. A pretty wild first quarter. 21-7, our score. Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez as he's on to punt for New England. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. It'll be 37 yards there on the punt, and out will come the offense as they take over. Tua Tagovailoa in the offense heading back out, and he's been good. 2 first-half touchdown passes, no interceptions so far.
Does a lot for your confidence, does a great deal for your team, gives them a lead, and they're feeling really good about how they're playing. I think he expects to throw at least another one.
I was going to say, now he wants the first half hat trick, doesn't he?
Oh, without a doubt. Go ahead and fling him on the field, folks. He wants that type of celebration.
The CD, this offense at 11-0 now on the year. A few weeks ago, I remember asking you what kind of percentage chance that you thought they had at staying unbeaten the entire season. I think you said 25%. I'd imagine that number probably grown since then.
I would agree with you, and I'm going to actually bump it up to closer to 50%. Only because they still have some tough games to come, and keeping that focus throughout the entire season, that's been a really difficult thing to pull off. But
and that is caught one-handed. Oh my, he pulled it in. It's a big play there for Miami.
I don't think we'll ever get enough of watching one-handed catches, and when they pay off, they are spectacular. But how about the times they don't pay off and coaches go, two hands still works.
I know, but they go for them so often now that I'm almost starting to take them for granted.
Yeah, that's unbelievable, isn't it? Because these are sensational type plays.
Especially that one with a defender right there. This offense continues to be a hot knife through butter. 3 drives, 3 scores, and knocking on the door again on drive number 4. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. Touchdown! Myles Gaskin with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Dolphins add on to their lead. He was on point throwing the ball right there. He had the big play to get him down close, and then he delivers a touchdown pass on 1st and goal.
And you mentioned the big play that got him down close. I think that big play left him reeling a little bit. They didn't recover from it. And you know, they always talk about having to have a short memory on defense after a big play against you. Looks like their memory was a little too long there.
Extra point up and good by Sanders. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. Peoples-Jones going to elect not to run this out, and they'll begin at the 25. Out comes the New England offense to see what they can do this time. They're down 3 touchdowns to this point, needing to put something together as they have it 1st and 10. Harris starts the drive on the ground. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there of holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
It's been a very one-sided game so far. They got to change what they're doing right now, don't they? You can't wait till the halftime speech to make an adjustment.
No, you can't, because if you're doing it right, you're adjusting from series to series, and they need a big adjustment here to try and put some points on the board.
Jones on 1st down. Right back to Henry, and Henry's got it again. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled.
Now that's the kind of big play you'd like to see. This first half, it hasn't gone their way, and they could use a shot in the arm, something to perk them up a bit. And they get one here in the passing game.
They'll run on 1st down. Harris, and he'll work this forward for about 3 at 2nd down.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
Harris going to get it again on 2nd down. And there just continues to be nowhere to run. He's bottled up again at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
And I think that's going to go down as no gain, but that doesn't seem fair for the effort that was presented on that play. That should go down as a loss. I know, I'm a defensive guy, but you got to like the play that was made.
He made a lot of those plays last week. He was AFC Defensive Player of the Week, picking up where he left off. Here's Jones to throw on 3rd down. That's swung out wide to Harris. And he will have a Patriots first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. So now 1st and 10 as they've crossed into Miami territory at the 44-yard line. Looking to throw. Jones. The Dolphins get there this time, and they bring him down. Derek Brown, he continues to wreak havoc in the offensive backfield. Sack number 16 on the year.
That's 3 sacks now, and that's not much of a surprise to me, nor should it be to you. This team, they lead the league in sacks.
Yeah, they do. This is something that we are starting to witness time and time again. Throwing on 2nd and long. Jones. He'll get this underneath to Stevenson. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And that's going to lead to a 3rd down. Back to throw. Jones. He completes it to Henry. And he'll go down to the ground at the 39, and obviously that's well short of the first. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
Brandon, a good idea there on 3rd down. Run a little clear out and hope you can get your receiver the ball coming across the formation. Nice design, but well played defensively, and they stop him well short.
Now the holder's going to keep it. He's going to try to run for it. It would have been a long field goal. The fake doesn't work out. And the Dolphins defense is able to hold. Tua and the rest of the Dolphin offense heading back out. And a trio of touchdown passes so far. They've got the lead as well. All is good in their football world at this point.
And it's so much fun for our colleagues, right? Think about our producer, our director, everyone putting together these shots. Wouldn't you love to be in the truck right now and hear him calling for it? Give me that one, give me that one, give me that one. And we just saw it.
Well, that was a long attempt to begin with, so the fake you might have known was somewhat of a possibility. Credit to the defense, though. They weren't fooled.
You're right, they weren't fooled. And they were in a position of having to play it both ways. Guard for the fake, but you still want to rush the kicker because it was a makeable kick. So they ended up getting the best out of the whole thing. Stuffed the fake, and they take over the ball.
And that is going to be pulled in one-handed. Wow.
Let's go, boys. Let's go.
Okay, we need to double check here with Marvin because he keeps all of our good stats. But what I've got is 5 drives, 5 touchdowns, and they've got a nice, healthy lead.
Well, after the first drive, we thought things might be clicking. They're really clicking at this point. They're clicking about as much as they can click.
And right
I just said click a lot.
Yes, you did, but that's okay because the guy who's coordinating the defense, trying to slow them down.
Good luck.
He's going to have hair that looks like mine very soon. Not much of it.
Extra point up and good by Sanders. And the route is on here in this first half. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. Peoples-Jones going to elect not to run this out, and they'll begin at the 25. Here comes Mac Jones and the rest of the Patriot offense. And how does he rally the troops, so to speak? He's played well, but they're down big on the scoreboard. How does he get his guys going?
To make sure they understand it's not a me game, it's a team game. Everyone has to come together. Everyone has to up the level of play a little bit, including himself, and find a way to make some plays in order to give them a little bit of a spark and rally the team.
We'll see if they can indeed rally down big on the scoreboard right now. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Operating from the gun, Jones. And he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here.
Well, they certainly did a nice job there, picking him up out of the backfield and then running stride for stride with him. That's good coverage, and it led to an incompletion.
Jones now on 3rd down. This is caught by Evans. And he will have a Patriots first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. The Dolphins going to take their 2nd timeout. So as they take it over, we step aside. On first down, Harris. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on second down.
Even though they gave up more than they wanted to on that play, it actually illustrates how well they bottled him up throughout the game because that was his longest run of this contest.
8 yards the tally on that first down run. Here's 2nd and 2. Looking to throw. Jones. And he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They've looked lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
And he's got enough for the first across midfield to the 48.
That's about what you would expect since they're so efficient on picking up third downs in the top 5 in the NFL. It's all a mindset, and I guarantee you, it started in the offseason. Third down's important to them. They find a way to pick them up at a very good clip.
And he'll go down inside the 45 before going out of bounds.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route, and what you have to do on that one is a receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
Throwing again on second down. Jones. And the ball is out. Jones got hit and lost it. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And this is picked up by the Dolphins. The 20. And this is brought all the way back. A fumble recovery and taken to the house for a Miami touchdown. This first half has been a nightmare for that offense. Defense just dominating them.
And when you're picking up the ball, picking up their mistakes, and taking it the other way and putting it in the end zone, that's a defense's dream. They're having that type of a game.
Everything that can go wrong has gone wrong for this offensive unit. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. Peoples-Jones going to elect not to run this out, and they'll begin at the 25. Damian Harris to the Patriot offense, ready to take over again. He's been good. They've utilized him well, but they're losing here in the second quarter. What might they change offensively?
I think that what you try and do is expand how you get the ball to him a little bit. Get him out in open space, maybe swing the ball to him. What's that they used to call in the West Coast offense, the long handoff? Yeah. Serve as your running play that way, as well as continue to feed him the football. Some of these runs now may pop bigger later in the game because of the effects of running it. Sometimes people, after a while, they don't want to tackle him anymore, or they get tired, or they get out of position, or he runs through tackles. Continue to feed him the ball. He's having that kind of game.
Yeah, might they get him the ball in some space in some different ways here. A pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature.
And the Dolphins rush gets home. Down he goes. Looks like a 9-yard loss. And it also brings up 4th. Well, Charles, this has been something to watch so far. This is where you really feel for a quarterback. He's been running for his life in this first half.
Brandon, that's 5 sacks already, so you know he's got to be saying, can we get some more guys in here to block, please? Because if we don't, we're going to need another quarterback.
Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. 1:58 left to play till we hit halftime. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
He'll let this go deep for Ruggs. And that is caught. Touchdown, Miami. Henry Ruggs with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Dolphins continue to pull away here in this first half. And man, Charles, talk about zinging something in there. Those gloves, they help with one-handed catches, the fun stuff. Any padding for a rocket like that?
One would think so, but I'll guarantee you this. After that throw, his hands will hurt later. Not right now in the moment. He's just feeling good about catching it.
Yeah, a little stinger, but a touchdown. Sanders now to add the extra point. And the route is on here in this first half. Those are the kind of drives they like on offense, from the coordinator to the quarterback, the line, everybody. One play drive and into the end zone for 6. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. Peoples-Jones going to elect not to run this out, and they'll begin at the 25. Here comes Mac Jones and the rest of the Patriot offense. A lot of the problems have been on the other side of the ball. Is that frustrating for a quarterback who's been playing well?
It is, but there's no way that the best ones let their teammates know that. They actually take it upon themselves and say, okay, I have to do even more, or I need to play better. Maybe even say I put my defense in a bad spot. That's what true leadership shows you.
Yeah, well, he doesn't need to change much personally. Now Jones throwing on first down. Open man is Kendrick Bourne. And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here up to the 34. To throw again on second down. Jones. And that'll fall incomplete. He was hit just as he let that go. And now it's third down.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
Jones from the gun on third down. And the return will be stopped at the 34-yard line.
And that's what we've seen from this defense all year long, because they've been so good at finding ways to take the football away. And they just gave us another example right here. A strong defense, that's something you're going to need to rely on come playoff time. And this crew has got one. There's no doubt about that, Brandon.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. After the turnover, it's Tua. Wide open receiver complete. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. A big play there for the Dolphins.
But they didn't ease into that drive right out of the turnover. They go for the big shot downfield and hit it. A lot of teams have that opportunity, but not every coach is going to green light that type of a play call. I love their aggressiveness.
A chance to really cap off a big first half here as they come up on 1st and goal. And he's going to get this back to the 3-yard line and no further. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal. And they'll turn to the power game to try to get in. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown. It's the fullback. His 26th touchdown, drawing even with Marshall Faulk for the 4th most in a single season. And the Dolphins just continue to pour it on. Extra point up and good by Sanders. And the lead will swell by 1 more. The drive there only spanning 3 plays. And it ends with a 3-yard scoring run. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. Peoples-Jones going to elect not to run this out, and they'll begin at the 25. Here comes Mac Jones and the rest of the Patriot offense. He's had a solid start to this game, but bottom line is they're losing, so he doesn't care about his stats. He just wants to right the ship on the scoreboard.
He wants to actually increase his stats because he feels like if he does, that means things will get better for his team, maybe get him back into the ball game or into the lead. In these situations, I remember playing with a quarterback once where he actually ran out onto the field first ahead of everyone else just to say, guys, let's go. Try and create that energy, create that spark.
Well, so far he has 1 touchdown, 1 interception. He'll be looking for that 2nd touchdown now. Now he's going to drop this down to Harris, middle of the field. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. Now the Patriots going to use one of their timeouts as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds to go in the first half. Here's Jones on 1st and 10. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone. On 2nd and 10, Jones throwing the out route incomplete. It's Myers. And he's out of bounds just before the midfield stripe at the 49. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5. Again, he'll drop to throw. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Henry. Now the Patriots will use the 2nd of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 18 seconds to go in the first half. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. They'll look to throw again. Complete. Hunter Henry with the grab. That catch good for only a couple.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. That's really good for the game of football. You get better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. Smith catches left side. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th. And that extra yardage makes this upcoming field goal attempt much more manageable.
Agreed, because when you talk to defensive coordinators, they always tell us the 35-yard line on our side of the field, that's the line we guard the most aggressively, because once they get there, they believe they're in field goal range.
So a big play before the end of the half to get him into this spot, and they cash in with 3.
How about the 1-2 to the solar plexus on that one? The big play, the field goal, not much time left on the clock. That's the way to go into the half.
Tua, the final shot before half. He's going to look deep down the field. And this is, oh my goodness, he pulled it in one-handed. So we've reached halftime here, and it's the visiting Dolphins taking a lead to the locker room. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thank you very much. We're starting to get near the home stretch of this NFL season. It's Week 13, so let's get an update on what's going on. We'll get started up at Lucas Oil Stadium in the capital city of Indianapolis, and it's the Jets who are out in front in that one. Saquon Barkley, 3 touchdown runs. From there, we'll head to Pittsburgh to check on the Steelers at home at Heinz Field. And for the moment, they find themselves trailing the visiting Cincinnati Bengals. A couple of touchdown passes there for Joe Burrow. Finally, we'll save the biggest for last as we head to AT&T Stadium to see what's happening with the Cowboys at home in Arlington. And they lead the visiting Atlanta Falcons at halftime. Amari Cooper, 2 touchdown catches in that first half alone. Meanwhile, our game has been a boat race, very one-sided to this point. And for the call of the second half, let's get it back to our commentating team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
The Dolphins in front, and they'll be in possession of the football first as the second half gets started. And no run back here as the third quarter will commence with a touchback. Out comes the Dolphins now. They'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. The first half definitely went their way, and this would seem to be a great opportunity to kind of put this game a little closer out of reach with a score here.
Yeah, and it's a wonderful opportunity for them because if they can add 7 more to their lead before the other guys even see the football, that could be the decisive blow in this game. I think that's how they're eyeing it. That's how they're approaching it.
And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. Second down. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin too.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. A handoff as they run the counter play. Give him 3 on the run there. Now they're looking at a 3rd and about 5.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain considering the blitz that they just had against them.
On 3rd down, here's Williams. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. They'll run now with Gaskin. And down he goes at the 45 after a pickup of 9.
Getting out a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. The last run got 9. That leaves him with 2nd and a yard. They'll hand it off now. Williams. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time.
2nd and 1 and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the first down.
All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. A handoff as they run the counter play. And he'll fight his way forward to about the 48-yard line. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. They've gone to their fullback quite a bit. He'll get it again. And he'll take it across the 50 and into New England territory.
And that was a good collision right there. And I know this as a former defender. If you're playing linebacker, you're going through a checklist on every play on who you think's going to get the ball and where you think the ball's going to go. Rarely do you expect the fullback position to get it. And on that play he did. So you got to steel yourself at that point because the contact is going to be strong.
7th play of the drive upcoming here on 3rd and 6. Out of the pistol, here's Williams. And they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the first. Call it a gain of 3, and it'll bring up 4th down.
But this was just simply excellent defense. On this 3rd down, they had to be alert for the possibility of a pass, but that didn't stop them at all from understanding what was going on when they decided to run the football, and they just swarmed and stuffed them for almost no gain.
This offense converted once on 4th down earlier. Now they're out there again to try once more. boy, this is going to be close. That mark looks a little short, and he didn't get there. The Dolphins can't convert on fourth down. Well, it was too far for a field goal try. You don't. Really gain a whole lot out of a punt, so I don't think you have much of a problem with that, do you?
No, not at all. I think it's the right play, the exact right play, because even if you want to play defense and pin them deep, you know how hard it is for a punter to knock one dead inside the 10-yard line. That's not necessarily easily done. So I think going for it there was the right call.
Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone.
The passing windows are just not there. And that's just another example of how great this defense has been all game long.
And that's exactly what a top 10 defense can do. They can really change the game tempo and frustrate you as you try to execute offensively.
Meanwhile, Jones' throw taken in by Evans here.
They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3. Trying to pick it up on the ground with Harris. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. He needed 3. He got 2. Now that'll set up an interesting situation here on 4th and a yard. Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez as he's on for the 5th time here today. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. And did they keep it in? They did. They kept it in. It's down close to the goal line at the 1-yard line. So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards.
And they'll run here with Carter.
And just a short gain that time as they're able to get him down. Tackle Dietrich Wise Jr. A give to the fullback on the dive. And he'll get this up past the 5 to the 7-yard line. Call it a gain of 5 that time, and they'll be left with a 3rd and about 4.
And that's why the fullback position was created. You just want a big, strong, powerful guy you can hand the ball to and pick up good yardage.
And they'll let their fullback try and push the pile.
And he is going to have the Dolphins first down. They needed 3. He doubled that. He got 6.
And how about that on 3rd down? So many different directions an offense can go. Throw it out wide to the receivers, get it to their speedy running back. They changed up everything and handed it to the fullback, and he surprised them all and picked up a first down.
So a little more space to operate now. 1st and 10 from right around the 12.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll fight forward on the straight-ahead running for just a couple of yards. Second down.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground. But I think the play gets made by the defensive front. Because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
Second down and 8. Now a handoff. Here's Williams. And a nice gain there as he'll be taken down just shy of the 20. 5 yards on the pickup, and that'll lead here to a third down.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
On the give, this is their fullback. And he'll have a Dolphins first down as he'll get this up to the 25.
It's amazing how much advice defensive players get on third down. You hear the bench screaming out, watch the draw, watch the screen, watch the pass here. Very rarely do they reference watching the fullback, and he slipped through and picked up a first down.
Now Tua just going to bat this forward on the end around. A nice play design there with the touch pass. Looked good at the start, but bottom line, the defense was ready.
And they did a nice job scouting, didn't they? Not just scouting, but now executing once they saw the play for real after having worked on it all week in practice. They drilled on the play, then they drilled him.
On second down now, it's Williams. And he'll be brought down right around the 37.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. Before they can snap it, time runs out on this third quarter of play. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Here's Gaskin. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory.
Well, you know me, partner. I never tell him to back off of being aggressive, but sometimes you see the consequences when you're overly aggressive and you don't secure tackles. Guys break through.
Trying to sell out to pry that football loose, and just as you said, cost some yardage.
Yeah, you got to go get him. Stand him up first before you go for the ball. Don't just go for it initially.
Historically, this is such a tough, loud venue, but you can hear a pin drop right now. A lot of fans long gone, not used to seeing a lopsided score like this. Now a first down carry. It's Williams. And he'll get this into enemy territory, but not by much as he's down to the 48. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
They run it again with Williams. And he's going to get this one down near the 45-yard line. A gain of 2 there on the heels of a 1-yard pickup on first. Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ball game and kept the pressure off of their own offense.
And now the first throw for the backup quarterback. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down.
He did a fine job there of not hitting him before the ball arrived, and I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on 4th. Back to throw. McKee. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And the Patriots defense is going to take over on downs. The Pats at the line ready to go.
They were coming off the extra week of rest, but this team started sluggish, and it really didn't get any better from there. And trailing big here in this 4th quarter.
Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Looking to throw. Jones. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Myers. And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. Jones now on 1st down and caught by Henry. That catch good for only a couple. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They tackle them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it. Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
Back to throw again.
Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Isaiah Simmons picking it off.
Past the 20. And he will bring it back. It's a pick-6 and a Dolphins touchdown. So this defense doubling its pleasure there. Remember, they had the fumble return for a score earlier in the game, and now this time an interception return for another score. Extra point up and good by Sanders, and that will extend this big lead. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick-6, and now the kick is away.
Peoples-Jones going to elect not to run this out, and they'll begin at the 25.
Now the Patriots offense, they work their way back out onto the field.
Well, I think that the folks here had hoped that maybe this home atmosphere would carry their guys to a surprise victory, but it does not appear that that's going to be the case. Just too much to handle on the other side in this one.
Throwing after the interception, Jones. The Dolphins get there this time, and they bring him down. It looks like a 12-yard loss there on the 1st down sack.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. And he drops it incomplete, and their struggles continue here.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration, the body language is evident everywhere. This team, They've really been put through the ringer in this one.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Off play action. Jones. And the throw there going to be incomplete. Defensively, you look at the numbers. Another incomplete passer we just saw, and they're under 200 yards passing for the game, so they've done their job on that side of the ball.
Yeah, recently I was actually working a game where a quarterback had a streak of 5 straight games without a 200-yard game. And that was a big talk, both in his town and amongst his team. How do we get the passing game going? So big credit to them, holding them under 200 today.
39-yard punt, 6 yards on the return. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. This is Gaskin on the carry. And a 6-yard gain gets him right around the 43.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. They stay on the ground. This time it's Williams. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football in that situation. That's almost a tendency breaker.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. And he'll give it here to his running back. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Brandon, 5 yards on that run. Let's get back to the huddle and make sure if you're a back, you spend time with your offensive line and give them credit. Hard to move those 300-plus pounders at the line of scrimmage, and they did for a significant chunk of yardage.
2nd down at 5. They'll try and run with their fullback. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. This is where, 4th quarter, you got the lead, you give it to the big guy. Defensively kind of sucks the will out of them, doesn't it? Because they don't want to tackle him right now this late in the game.
But you say that with accusatory tones. I mean, but you're exactly right. I know it's not something we actually want to talk about, but as a defender, 4 quarters worth of trying to bring people down, 4 quarters worth of pounding, and now late in the game, here comes that big guy coming at you, and a lot of guys are wondering where they want to come up and make that tackle at this stage of the game.
They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. What's that, 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive. And like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it. 6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. On the handoff, it's Gaskin, and he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. 44 yards now on the ground on just 7 carries.
Yeah, once more, strong running, excellent blocking at the point of attack. They've got a nice little drive brewing right here.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Dolphins have it as we welcome you back in. And they have just about put this one on ice as they've got it here, 1st and 10. And now a carry here for their fullback. And he'll be taken down here at about the 11. Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Good solid gain on 1st down, about what you'd expect from the big guy carrying the ball.
On 2nd down, they'll try and run the counter. And a short pickup there down to about the 9. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive.
Let's give a lot of credit to the offensive line. They've been able to move the ball really well on the ground the entire game. And while that wasn't a huge one, that's okay. They'll take them in short, steady bursts.
So it's 3rd and 6, and this will be the 8th play of the drive. Now Carter. He didn't get the touchdown, but he did get the 1st down as he's tackled at the 1.
They've definitely established a rhythm on this drive, moving the ball quite well. And big man with football is an integral part of the whole thing.
Well, they probably don't need to run a play here, but you wonder if they're going to be able to resist on 1st and goal. And they'll turn to a power game to try to get in. Power on power, but he's not going to get in. Now the Dolphins will use the last of their timeouts. It'll be their 3rd and final timeout, so as they talk things over, we'll step aside. And again, they'll go right back to their fullback. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
Well, business as usual for them. Well on their way to another victory. Riding a serious wave of momentum from what we've seen. And so far, they haven't met their match. So if you're going to play this team in the future, your mission is clear. You better be ready to play and match their firepower.
Extra point up and good by Sanders. And the lead will swell by 1 more. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. It's a squibber picked up around the 27. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. New England with a 1st down as they begin the drive. We certainly had a sense coming in here that these guys were in for a tough one on the road. That has been how this ball game has played out. They trail big as we continue on now here in this 4th quarter. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. One final shot. They'll look to throw. He's going to let it fly. And that will be incomplete as time has run out on this football game. A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points. Allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for the Dolphins, the streak continues as they push their mark to a perfect 12-0 now on the year. And they'll have another road date next week with the Kansas City Chiefs. Meanwhile, for New England, the playoffs look to be out of reach now as they drop to 4-8. And they'll be at home next week for a date with the Tennessee Titans. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again. It's the NFL on EA Sports.